Good evening, YouTube. This is Ty, your Metalhead Weatherman. Hopefully, you guys have had a good Tuesday. Mentioned in yesterday's video that I was going to talk about the tropics a little bit and why we aren't seeing the activity that we were expecting so far. Earlier this year, things started to get active, and then it just seemed like everything just went quiet. I'm also going to discuss why we shouldn't let our guard down. But without further ado, we'll get right into it here. Of course, at the beginning, I'm going to ask before I really get into the meat of the video to if you like what I'm doing, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, share, follow, and just follow me on my social tags. And also, if you're into heavy music, just follow my other page here. That'll be shown at the end of the video. But we're going to get right into it. So this right here is our 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook for the Atlantic Basin. No surprises here, nothing new expected right now. But that's pretty much been the trend for the last month and a half, nearly 2 months. Things have been awfully quiet. We're going to go into detail with why, but also I want to make mention of the Eastern Pacific being very active right now. This is a post-tropical cyclone Frank. This is on its final advisory right here, and this is expected to fall apart soon. Here's a little system here that's in the Gulf of Mexico heading towards the Yucatan, a little bit south of the Yucatan area. Once this crosses over land and gets into the Eastern Pacific, this will have a high chance of developing within the next 5 days. Then we also have a tropical storm, or tropical depression, Georgette. It's on its way to being on its final advisory before falling apart at sea, and then there's another area where we could be expecting some more development over the next 5 days. So Eastern Pacific seems like they're getting all the action, but all of these storms, as far as I know right now, look like they're just going to be fish storms and nothing to worry about for anyone at the moment, unless you're right up in here just to the north of the Panama Canal. Maybe you'll get some rainfall out of it, but that's about it. Maybe a brief gust of wind. But let's go ahead and get a look at the satellite right now and see just what we have going on over here. Towards the Gulf, everything looks pretty quiet. Just a couple of afternoon thunderstorms. You see something trying to pop off here, but it's not really much anything. This kind of looks like it's shearing itself apart, if anything. You can see these big thunderstorms that are popping up near the Texas-Louisiana border. You can see how those clouds just mushroom out. It's always something I really love looking at whenever I'm looking at the visible satellite. So we'll go ahead and get a little bit more intricate here. I mainly want to put our attention towards the eastern Atlantic and towards the Africa coast, towards Cape Verde. Well, it's pretty dark right now. It's dark over this region, so we're probably not going to see too much of anything. But what we will be looking for in this region right now, if we had some sunlight over here, would be Saharan dust. Saharan dust is a major player when it comes to hurricane season. Like during this time of year, we're definitely looking towards the Cape Verde region for storms to be developing around here. But this Saharan dust can it's almost like outflow with supercells and tornadoes and thunderstorms, that kind of deal. Basically, this Saharan dust can just pretty much stop a storm from forming altogether. You can never get its act together with that if there is enough Saharan dust in the air. I've seen plenty of instances like that, and as a result, that's what we're suspecting is going on here. So this has led to a much quieter hurricane season than what we were expecting. Because if you remember in my hurricane season outlook video, I'll post a link to that in the top right corner. We were expecting a very active season, and well, simply put, that just hasn't happened yet. The Saharan dust can move at any given time, and once that happens, it very well could be open season. So we'll have to be watching. Watching this area in particular really close. But we're gonna try and take a look and see what kind of storm systems could be coming off the West Africa coast, because this could be a key to maybe moving that Saharan dust out of the way and maybe getting some storms to pop off here. So we'll go ahead and go with this latest GFS here. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get this to run here. There we go. Now it's going. So right now it just seems like nothing can seem to form over here. See, like we get some attempts here, but nothing really organizes itself. Trying to see if there's any sort of pattern change that could maybe set some things off. It looks like we do get something that tries to form, but that's more towards the central part of the Atlantic, not necessarily off the African coast. But it seems like the Saharan dust is definitely holding things down right now. Has things locked up into the middle of the month so far, as far as any sort of tropical development. Of course, with us being on the GFS, we're looking about almost 400 hours out. That's several weeks in advance, and these forecasts can change at the drop of a dime. But as of right now, it just looks like things are gonna stay pretty quiet off the African coast here. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and actually take a look at a couple of other regions around the tropics, see just what we may be dealing with towards the western part of the Atlantic. It's a little bit closer to home. Oops. A little bit closer to home, and we'll go from there. Okay. There we are. So we're looking towards the Caribbean. We're looking towards the Gulf. We see small little features try to get their act together, but nothing major really going on here. It's pretty much the same thing, maybe minus the Sahara dust, but things just don't seem like they're trying to really get going around here. I think there's a lot of unfavorable ingredients in the atmosphere, mainly with the wind, upper level winds here, just kind of keeping things held down, so to speak. So we're taking a look here, and just maybe towards the middle of the month, we might have to start looking towards the Gulf. But I think this is going to be another Yucatan storm that really ends up forming in the Eastern Pacific. But things are awfully quiet right now. Enjoy this while you can, because who knows what could happen within the next couple of weeks. These forecasts that I'm giving right now could turn over on their heads entirely, and we could be dealing with Lord knows what. But this was a quick one for you guys. Just thought I'd try to get more active on here. We'll probably do yet another forecast. We may do another video tomorrow, depending on what I have to talk about on here. But if not, you can probably expect a video Thursday or Friday. I'm almost certain of that. But until the next one, this has been Ty, your Metalhead Weatherman, and I will see you in the next video.